Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I'm very excited for two reasons. One, Blizzard hooked me up with some new mount codes, the Luminous Starseeker, giving away some on my Twitter, some on the Twitch, and one right here on the YouTube channel. Guys, if you want a chance to win, I think this might be NA only, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and comment down below, and I'll pick a random winner from the comments, and you guys get your very own Luminous Starseeker absolutely free. Thank you to Blizzard. And two, because I'm starting a new series on the channel, and this is how to play versus each class, or what to look out for versus each class, and I think this is just so valuable for new PvPers or just PvPers that haven't played much Legion or getting back into the game. Anyone that wants to know how other classes work, these are the guides that are going to show you how to do that. And one of the biggest things that I always say is that World of Warcraft is a game of knowledge. Once you know what another class can do to you, once you know, how your class is supposed to burst, or, how you're supposed to defend yourself against a certain way of bursting, etc., you can play much better. It's just learning. It's just a game of knowledge. And I want to give you guys that knowledge on how to play versus each class, or what to look out for versus each class. Today we're starting on Sub-Rogue, because I've been playing quite a bit of Roastmaster X, quite a bit of Sub-Rogue recently. And I want to go through the offensive abilities, defensive abilities, and any other extras that I might think are helpful for you guys. So let's jump right into it. Offensive abilities, guys. We have Shadow Dance. We have Symbols of Death. We have Cold Blood. We have Gorma's Bite. We have Marked for Death. And we have Shadow Blades. These are offensive cooldowns, guys. There's actually a lot of them for Rogue. Not all classes are going to be this complicated. But basically, what I want to explain to you guys is that Rogues have, say, 6 different ways to actually burst down its kill target. Rogues can pick and choose out of these 6 if they want to use everything and do one big go with all 6, or if they kind of want to, play a little bit defensively and just use 1 or 2, or if they want to open up and use none at all and just appeal. And you guys are the ones that have to kind of decipher what the Rogue is trying to do. If the Rogue is just stealthing on you and cheap shots you and bleeds you and gloom blades you, he's not trying to kill you. He hasn't popped his Symbols of Death. He hasn't popped his Shadow Dance. If he opens on you like this, you shouldn't wall. You shouldn't Trinket. You shouldn't use defensive cooldowns. You shouldn't use Temp Shield. You shouldn't use Ice Block. You shouldn't use things in this circumstance. This is when the Rogue is just trying to control you. He's trying to burst you guys once he's using his, burst cooldowns. I'm going to go over each one of them with you guys right now. Shadow Dance, 1 minute cooldown, lasts for 5 seconds. You have 2 charges of this, guys. When you're in Shadow Dance, you can sap, you can cheap shot, you can ambush, aka Shadow Strike. I still think about it as ambush mentally, but you can use your abilities that you can use while stealthed while you're Shadow Dance. So it's almost like stealthing, but you're bursting, and you actually get a damage bonus as well while you're Shadow Dance. Cold Blood, or actually let's go to Symbols of Death. Symbols of Death, you have 15% increased damage for 10 seconds. This is, you get the 40 energy too, but the big part of this ability, 15% damage for 10 seconds, 30-second cooldown. This is when you know, when the Rogue pops Symbols, guys, when he has this buff icon, you're going to know that he is doing burst. You're not going to see Symbols of Death without burst, right? If he's just popping Shadow Dance with no symbols, it could be to peel. If he's popping, if he's going stealth and he's opening on you without symbols, it's probably just a peel. If he's popping symbols, it's to do damage. Keep an eye on Symbols of Death. Cold Blood, guys, 1 minute cooldown, 10% of the target's total life on your next cheap shot or your next Shadow Strike. You usually pair this with a Shadow Dance, so you would Shadow Dance, you would Cold Blood, and then ambush, cheap, whatever rotation you want to do. You're going to have a lot of burst with Cold Blood, so you definitely want to keep an eye out for Cold Blood. 1 minute cooldown, it's going to make your hand glow blue, as you guys just saw, and it's going to do a ton of damage. Gorma's Bite, also a 1 minute cooldown. This is tons of burst, gives you 3 combo points, slows the target, grants you energy. It's just like your God ability. It's actually your artifact ability, and the reason you're going to know they popped is because when they use it, you're going to have a debuff. It's going to look like this. Gorma's Bite debuff. When you have the debuff on you, that's when you know that they popped Gormaz, you're probably going to be a lot lower life too, but that's when you know, okay, they popped Gormaz, I see the symbols, I see the dance, I see the cold blood, I'm going to then bubble. I'm going to then block. These are the offensive cooldowns he used. This is what I need to look out for, and I'm going to react in this way, right? This is, if they're popping Gormaz, cold blood, symbols, dance, you are going to need to use something, right? If they're just popping 1 or 2, you can get away with maybe just playing a little bit defensively. If they're popping all of them, this is time to use something. Mark for Death, guys, gives you 5 combo points instantly. So with your combo points, usually Kidney Shot or Eviscerate, or you could Night Blade too, but Night Blade is more just to get the extra damage up on the opponent. I'll go over that in the little extras part of the video. But Eviscerate, guys, going to do a lot of damage, and then you can Mark for Death for 5 combo points to then Eviscerate again. So Mark for Death, whenever you see this icon on you, it means the rogue is ready to either burst you or ready to stun you. And this is going to be a debuff on your portrait right over here. So when you Mark for Death, make sure to watch out for a Kidney Shot or some big burst. Next, we have Shadow Blades. 3-minute cooldown, longer cooldown here. It's going to give all of your all your abilities to generate combo points. It's going to generate 1 additional one per ability, and it's going to make all of your auto attacks deal shadow damage instead of normal damage, which is really good because you can damage to things like Bop or Shaman Immunity, etc., without having to do melee damage. So Shadow Blade's good cooldown for getting more combo points, good cooldown for doing shadow damage instead of normal physical damage. And that kind of covers all of Rogue's offensive abilities. The way that they pair them changes all the time. People will ask, what's Rogue damage rotation? A lot of the times, it'll be different depending if they're Relentless, or if they're Trinket, or if they're Orc, or if they're off of a Sundiar, or if they are, if they're playing Trinkets. There's so many, if they have their Trinket, rather, whether if they don't have their Trinket still, there's so many different factors. If you're going with Kidney Shot, or whether it's Triple Cheap or Kidney, that it changes every time. What you really want to look out for when playing against a Rogue is how much of their arsenal are they using onto you, so you can then decide how much defensive cooldowns to use, in accordance to that. So now, Rogue defensive abilities, guys. We have Vanish, which is a 30-second cooldown when modified by Thieves' Bargain. Keep that in mind. So 30-second cooldown Vanish. Crimson Vial, that is the Rogue heal. We have Cloak of Shadows, which is a 1.5-minute cooldown immunity for spells. We have Evasion, and we have Feint. Okay, so Feint is basically a shield wall, 50% damage reduction from all area of effect, and also 30% damage reduction from all attacks if the rogue is playing elusiveness, which he usually is. So almost all rogues play elusiveness in PvP. Gives you that 30% little shield wall effect, and if you're a good rogue, you know you're being targeted, you know they want to kill you, you can keep up this elusiveness buff here, this feint buff, and you will not go down as fast. If rogues don't have feint, they are extremely squishy, so keep an eye out for feint, guys. If you want to burst down a rogue, make sure you CC the feint off first. It only lasts 5 seconds, so you can easily CC it off. Evasion, guys, 2-minute cooldown. By the way, a feint has no cooldown at all. Evasion, 2-minute cooldown, increases your chance to dodge by 100%. Which is really good against melee, really good if you're being trained by any type of melee cleave. It does nothing against spells, so if you're a caster, keep hitting into evasion, doesn't matter. But you pop evasion, you look a little elusiveness, and yeah, it'll make you tankier against melee cleaves. Cloak of Shadows, 1.5-minute cooldown, turns you purple, immune to all spells, very good against spellcasters. Vanish, 30-second cooldown in PvP combat, and you get to just vanish out, get a re-stealth, and they can't target you. So, Vanish is a good defensive cooldown as well. And Crimson Vial, 30-second cooldown heal. The healing is actually reduced a little bit in PvP, but it still is a very good heal that will definitely help your healer out, keeping you alive. So those are rogue defensive cooldowns, guys. All of them paired together with the rogue has no trinket, no cloak, no evasion, yeah, no vanish. You could be like, let's do a swap to the rogue. But if you didn't know these things, you wouldn't know that the rogue was even a good swap target in the first place. So keep an eye on these things. You can get cooldowns to track them. Omnibar is a good one that I like to use. You can track any of these cooldowns in an arena match, or you can just count in your head a little, generally, okay, he used cloak recently. He doesn't have cloak. Let's swap to the rogue. Okay, he doesn't have trinket or cloak. Let's kill him next go, etc. So you really want to keep an eye out on these things. And then just miscellaneous stuff, guys. Control. So rogues have cheap shot, they have kidney shot, they have blind, they have sap, When I think of Sub-Rogue, I think of burst and control. Burst and control. By the way, this is a Sub-Rogue guide, if you haven't been able to tell already. Not an Assassin Rogue guide or an Outlaw Rogue guide. I'll probably do those in the future, but right now focusing on Sub-Rogue, and I want to do these for all specs and classes in the future, actually, so let me know. But anyway, the rogues have so much control, so much burst. Those are all the control abilities. Sap's on the same DR as Sheep, just so you guys know. Stun DRs are all on the Stun DR, and you're either probably going to die in a kidney shot or a cheap shot. So whenever the rogue's stunning is when they're about to do damage. Nightblade, guys, when you have this up, it's a bleed. It does shadow damage, though, so it's not technically a bleed. It's kind of like a shadow damage dot. But when you have it up, you do 15% increased damage. Very important. This is very important, guys. When you see a Nightblade up on you, I guess I could even include this in the offensive ability section, but when you see a Nightblade up on you, it means the rogue is going to do damage to you at some point. They have that 15% primer on you. If I want to swap to a kill target, I might put up Nightblade, not look at them, and be like, okay, mark for death, kidney them, kill them in a bomb, right? Once that Nightblade's up, you primed your target. You're ready for that swap. If they have no Nightblade up, they're going to do less damage on their burst because they're going to have to get that Nightblade up during their burst. So, Nightblade, guys, keep an eye out for it. 15% increased damage during the Nightblade. It'll kind of give you a heads up for when the rogue wants to swap to you. Let's see, anything else? Your Shadow Strike, kind of think about it as an ambush. You can use it while stealthed or danced. Anything else that I want to mention? Smoke Bomb, 3-minute cooldown. Puts a smoke down on the ground. If you guys don't know how it interacts, I just use it there on the target dummy. Any target inside the smoke can't target or use any spells on the outside of the smoke. And if you're on the outside of the smoke, same thing, you can't heal or peel for anything inside the smoke. If you're part of the rogue's team, you can. If you're an enemy, then you can't, right? So Smoke Bomb, it's kind of like LOS a little bit. You can't see in or out of the smoke. Other than that, guys, rogues, if they're not dancing and they're not, Gormaz, Cold Blood, Symbols, any of that, they're going to be, spamming Gloomblade or Backstab, depending on what spec they are, just, keeping up decent pressure. You don't have to be too scared. This isn't scary time, right? They're just doing a little bit of DPS. They're not too scary. You can heal through it. Once again, rogues have a 15-second kick. I guess this is something else that you should note. Pretty much every class has a kick now, or any offensive class has a kick now, but rogues do have that 15-second kick, just as a reminder. And yeah, that pretty much recaps rogues' offensive abilities, defensive abilities, and pretty much everything in between. I hope this was helpful for you guys to kind of discover what sub-rogues can do, what they're capable of, and how to play around them a little bit, because now that you know what they can do, now you can be like, okay, when they pop this, I can if they pop Dance and Cold Blood, for example, if I'm a mage, I can Trinket Temp, and I'm gonna get rid of a lot of that damage right away. If he's popping all of those cooldowns again on me and I don't have Trinket Temp, I'm going to then Ice Block or call for a sack from my Paladin. There's a lot of ways you can deal with these things. There's an infinite number of ways that you could deal with these things, in fact, but now that you know what is coming at you, hopefully you can deal with them a little bit better. Guys, thumbs the video up if you liked it, thumbs it down if you didn't. Talk to me in the comments below. Don't want this video to go too long about what you guys want to see for next time. I plan to do a class guide on every single class and spec in the game. It's gonna take a while, so hopefully I can finish them before the new expansion comes out or the new patch comes out and changes everything, so I have to do them again. But hopefully this keeps you guys up to date on what you're playing against in Arena. And once again, good luck on the giveaway. If you guys want to win, just comment down below, type anything you want. Pick me for the giveaway, whatever. I'm just going to randomly pick someone from the comment section. It might be NA only. Thanks to Blizzard again for giving me the codes to give out to you guys. You guys are awesome. If you want more chances to win, check out my Twitter and my Twitch channel, giving some away over there as well. Guys, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!